This is Gary Atencia with CNTV, and today we're in Longmont, Colorado. I am here with the Kunselman team. For over 6 years, they have been providing and helping consumers get their loans closed with competitive rates and outstanding service. First of all, Luke, Shelley, thank you guys for joining me here today. Quite honestly, you both have over 15 years of experience, really 20 years of experience you come to the table in this industry. What got you guys involved, first of all?
Well, I grew up around it. My mom has been in the industry for years and always was as I was growing up through it. It's always been a family thing, and math and numbers were always a great option for me.
What got you involved back when you decided to get into the mortgage real estate business?
I've been in the mortgage business for 20 years now, and I started in banking in the savings side. So I had about 12 years in the savings side, management, working my way up, and then there was a restructuring, and I decided to go into mortgages.
First of all, for the average consumer out there, one of the biggest investments we make is a home, and along with that comes a mortgage. Why is it important today, possibly more than ever before, for people to educate themselves before jumping into that process?
Getting a mortgage is a very complicated process now, and it used to be that anybody could get a mortgage, and nowadays even good people can have a hard time qualifying. So it's really important to educate yourself about what you're getting into. A home is a long-term investment. It's not a stock. You can't just decide one day, I'm done with this, and turn it over and turn a profit. After you buy a home, there can be a lot of time to recoup costs and everything like that. So it is important to know what you're getting into and to also understand and feel comfortable with what you're going to be paying every month.
So therefore, knowledge is power, and many times when that power hits our pocketbook, so quite honestly, we can save a lot of money if we know what we're getting into.
That's correct. There are so many factors that go into what it's going to cost you to get a mortgage, and getting educated on that from the get-go so you can maybe mitigate some of that information and some of those pitfalls before you even go out and try to find a home to buy.
One of the biggest mistakes folks out there think is they're kind of comparing apples to oranges many times. It's not like you're going to buy a certain product here that you're going to get one place at one price and a different place. Really, mortgages are mortgages, but it's really the service behind that mortgage that really sets you apart and, quite honestly, takes a lot of stress out of the process.
Mortgages are mortgages. More or less, all the money comes from the same places in the end. Rates and fees are probably going to be very similar between companies. The biggest difference is the professionals that you're working with. Are they going to be truthful? Are they going to deliver what they promised? And are they going to get it done in a reasonable time frame?
Speaking of a reasonable time frame, I mean, quite honestly, in this industry, service is critical. You want to make sure your loan officer is going to call you back in time. You want to make sure they're crossing their T's, dotting their I's, and really answering your questions. Is that what you provide?
We do. We believe in making sure that we give our clients upfront and direct, honest answers and calling them back when they actually call us. We can't tell you how many clients have come to us simply because their last loan officer didn't call them back.
A mortgage can be a very complicated process. I know that personally myself. What really scared me was the fact that after the day was done, I signed everything, it really wasn't done. This is something that would impact my life for many years down the road.
Again, that kind of goes back to who you're working with to try to make sure everything is done when it's done, when we leave the closing table, so that you don't have a lot of worries after that. You just need to make your payment and make your payment on time. You need to be comfortable with who you're going to be making the payments to, and also know that there's somebody that you can call even after the fact to help you through questions you may have. If you didn't get something, if you didn't understand something, to know that you're going to have somebody that's going to still be in the business and is going to be there to help you today, tomorrow.
We're talking about short-term as well as long-term needs here. I imagine you can save a dollar on the front end, but really end up paying a lot down the road.
There's always that idea out there that we should shop around and, compare rates and fees and always go with the best deal. But when you're dealing with a mortgage, the dollar amount, the little percentage stuff, it is important, but it is not the total package to look at. There's so much more that comes to it than just the rates and the fees. And in fact, a lot of times you will end up missing out working with a good professional if your goal is to just find the cheapest rate and the cheapest fees out there, because there's always going to be somebody out there willing to cut their fees. But the difference is too is that they probably don't have enough business and they're just looking to close the next deal, as opposed to when you're working with a professional, we make sure that we set our fees and our prices very fair to the market, and it's not expensive, it's not cheap, but it is worth what you pay for it.
How important is it for consumers out there to have multiple lenders and banks to choose from?
I think that's always good to have. I don't know if you should have all your eggs in one basket in any part of your life. However, if you find somebody that you work well with, because that's a lot of it, the communication that you have with somebody and the comfort level you have with them and the trust you build with them, that's a lot of it. We really are intent on building a relationship with every person we work with. We want to be their lender for life. We don't want to be the one this time, and the next time they're going to go through a whole process of picking another one.
We don't do a lot of advertising. We don't do a lot of internet leads and stuff like that because, as Shelley said, we're looking for a client for life. And our general thought is that if somebody was just out there shopping online looking for the cheapest rates, the next time they need a mortgage, they're probably going to do the same thing. We really want to establish that relationship. And I mean, every client of mine, their cell phone, their contact information goes into my cell phone so that when they call me 2, 3 years, 10 years later, it comes up and I usually address them by name, and it kind of startles most people.
Let's just touch a little bit on the programs here. A conventional mortgage, what is that? Are you able to offer and service that?
Yeah, we offer a wide range of products. Conventional is one of them. Essentially, what a conventional mortgage is it's a mortgage that's not backed or secured by the government. Okay. That's the biggest difference. They are much more credit score sensitive than most other government loans. Depending on your situation, if you're putting a lot of money down, a little money down, there is the whole, if you have a loan at 80% of your home's value or less, you won't have to have mortgage insurance on it, which with government loans, no matter what, you have mortgage insurance, as opposed to, if you go above the 80% mark, then you will need mortgage insurance on a conventional loan too.
So you're offering conventional mortgages, but you're also offering help with those government-backed loans as well. Either way, though, I imagine they're still looking at credit, income, assets, regardless of which one.
You're exactly right. Basically, you have to have a job, you should have some money in the bank, and you should be responsible credit users. I don't care what loan you're going to get.
What about a refi? Are they also looking at the equity that you're bringing to the table?
There are, but yet there are also still a lot of programs available that have been released by government programs and things that are there for people who have lost equity in their home. There's always like the FHA Streamline. That's for people who already have an existing FHA mortgage. They can go through, even if their value has dropped, they can still refinance that mortgage. There's also the HARP programs, which stands for the Home Affordable Refinance Program, and those are for people who have Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac owned loans originated prior to June of 2009, and those people are actually able to go back and do the same thing, even if they've seen their property's value drop.
One more reason why you want to go with a professional that basically keeps on top of all these changes that basically the government's throwing out there and regulations and whatnot. Let me ask you, how early should people be seeking out your services so they're not making some costly mistakes or basically adding undue stress?
If you're purchasing a property, I would say you need to be talking to us before you step foot in a real estate office or get in the car and go look at it or go look online. That kind of torments you because you might be looking at something that you don't qualify for. You may not qualify for anything and you don't know that until you get your credit pulled. And honestly, if you pull your own credit, our credit scores chances are going to be different. And we can get you pre-qualified very quickly. So even a few days before you step out to go try to get with a realtor.
Folks, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. On the website is their contact information. You can reach out to them if you're not sure of if you qualify or what the process may be or what a lot of the products that they offer. You're also going to see there's some great testimonials on the website as well of people they help and that have benefited from the team here. Last thing, Shelley, if someone out there has never stepped into it before, never even had to go through the mortgage process, what would you tell them?
My advice is to be patient, to listen to what we say and what we request. Even if you got a mortgage 6 years ago, it is so different today. There is so much more you need to provide. The bank is providing money to you. It's their job to make sure you're a good risk.
So learn and listen. After all, you guys are the mortgage masters. Folks, take a look. Last time, it's on the bottom of the screen right there is their website information. Give them a call. That is the Kunselman team. Basically, for over 6 years, have been helping you, the consumer, close your loan at a competitive rate with outstanding service. This is Gary Atencia with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.